In this video, I'm going to show you how I'm going to be selling Destined rivals at RRP. I'm also going to show you what happens whenever we list any popular stock, any popular Pokemon stock, what happens. I'm going to show you why that's a problem for both collectors and fans of Pokemon, as well as a problem for stores. But before we get to that, who am I? My name's Nathan. I own eternalcards.co.uk. We are a Pokemon and trading card game business in the UK. We've been going for a few years now. We are a six-figure business at the moment and growing. So yeah, I'm dealing with this stuff every day. I've been living this way for a few years now, and obviously with the current state of the market, things are changing. Things have to change, and there's still more change to be made. But let me just dive in. This isn't going to be a fancy video. It's not going to be big edits or anything like that. I'm just going to talk straight to you, share my experience with you, and tell you how we're dealing with things moving forward, at least for the next few releases, but certainly for Destined Rivals. This video will probably piss a few people off and probably make the majority of people quite happy. I mean, we did announce this policy a couple of weeks ago now over on Facebook. And largely there was a positive reaction. Of course, there was a few negative reactions just from people who aren't going to benefit from it, basically. So let me explain what is actually going on here. So let me give you an example, right? We get a restock of Surge and Sparks, okay? Now, it's not main booster boxes. We get a small amount of half booster boxes, right? Now, we list these on the website, okay? Surge and Sparks, half booster box, 18 packs. And let's say we have 20 of them, for example, right? So we build the listing out on Shopify. We name it Surge and Sparks, half booster box, 18 packs. We add a description, we add the images, we add the price, and then we add the quantity. So we input 20 boxes, okay? Now, the second I hit save on that listing, the traffic on the website goes to 10 people, 20 people, 30 people, 50 people, 100 people, 200 people, 300 people. It's crazy and it's instant. And what happens is it just starts to sell. Ping, 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 seal, 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 seal. And it's faster than any human can possibly recognize that we've listed a product that they might want, evaluate whether they actually want to purchase it, put it in their basket, go to checkout, input their details, and actually check out. It's not humanly possible to do it in the speed at which it's being done at the minute. So it is software, it's bots, and why is this a problem? Well, you can't compete with bots, okay? You can't. Software will beat you every time. So as soon as we get something that fans and Pokemon collectors and hobbyists want, the bots just steal it from them. It's not a first shot. You don't get a first shot. They're much quicker, and then it's gone. And by the time you've been made aware as a collector that there's something popular, more Surge and Sparks available, it's all gone, and it's went to collectors, it's went to bots, and that's like, this is a real problem, and so Destined Rivals, right? If I list Destined Rivals on our website, the same thing is going to happen. The bots will be there in milliseconds, and they will buy everything that we have available, meaning you get none of it. And it puts me in a really awkward position as a store owner. Like, some stores wouldn't care, right? They would just say, well, I don't care, I'm selling it, right? So as long as I get the sale, it's fine. I don't think like that because I'm a collector myself, and I love Pokemon, and I know what it feels like. I want to enjoy it, and I'm being shut out by software. So that's what's happening to you guys right now. If you're just trying to collect and pick up boxes of Pokemon, the bots are beating you to it, So I have to take actions and steps to combat this. So here's what I'm going to do with Destined Rivals. We will be selling Destined Rivals at RRP. However, it won't be readily available on our website, okay? So here's what I'm going to do. Closer to the release date of Destined Rivals, which I think it releases at the end of May, a couple of weeks before that, I'm going to send an email out to our email list with a Google form where people can input their details and express their interest for Destined Rivals. The way we will prioritize this is a few ways, right? One, if you've shopped with us before and you have an account history, we will prioritize requests from customers who have shopped with us before over customers who haven't. Now, I got a bit of heat for this, and there's comments along the lines of a great way to turn off new customers, or it's clear that new customers aren't welcome at Eternal Cards and stuff like that. And look, I understand the sentiment. I understand why you think that. It's not true. It's not the case. New customers are more than welcome to Eterna cards. You just won't jump the queue of people who have been buying from our store when nobody cared about Pokemon, when it wasn't being scalped, when it was being sold at £110 a box. You know, these guys and girls supported us the whole way. You know, they've continued to buy from us, so they will get priority over people who haven't. It's not great. Like, I wish we just had 1,000 boxes and everybody who wants some can get some, and we don't have to do this process. Like, if you're angry about this, direct your anger where it belongs, which is at the Pokemon Company. They need to print more product. You know, it does take them 6 to 12 months to adjust to the demand in the market, so they will do it. It's just a case of when. It's not going to happen for Destined Rivals. If you're angry about this and what else you're seeing across, direct your anger at the right place. It doesn't belong on stores or people that are just trying to do the right thing for collectors and for their customers. So that's the policy that we're going to implement for Destined Rivals. It's not a permanent thing. It's not set in stone. I'm open-minded. I'll continue to adjust if it makes sense to do that. But for now, basically, if you haven't shopped with us before, you won't get any Destined Rivals. And we will prioritise customers specifically who buy a range of products, not just Journey to Galar or Prismatic Evolutions when the market went super hot. You know, we're looking at people who have continued to buy stuff from us and a range of stuff. So a few factors we'll look at, right? Account history. So how long have you been a customer? We will look at your order frequency, particularly in the last 3 months. How often you've ordered in the last 3 months. Overall spend will become a factor, but it's not the driving force. So it's not just the people who spend the most money will get the most product. It's just not how we're going to do it. We will split this evenly. And then we'll be looking at a range of products. So people who buy maybe multiple TCGs, or they buy, you know, Pokemon booster boxes and ETBs and collection boxes and tins and packs, you know, they buy a range of stuff. Those are the people that we'll prioritize from. If you want to be part of this, right, and if this policy stays in place and you want to be part of it for future releases, just become part of our community, get involved. But, and hear me out here, I'm not suggesting you run straight over to our website and buy something so that you can be considered for this. This is not a ploy for me to increase my sales at all. And I'll be straight with you, if you go and buy something now, you probably won't be in with a chance to get any Destined Rivals. So don't go and buy something thinking that you can get on that list. That's not what I'm saying, and that's not going to happen, because we have thousands of customers already who won't get some, you know. So it's a difficult situation. I don't want it to be this way. I wish it wasn't this way, but this is the only way I can see that we can sell some Destined Rivals to people at RRP without it being immediately scooped by the bots. So to summarize, right, we have two options here as a store when we're listing popular product. One, we just list it, let the bots get everything, the collectors get nothing, our customers get nothing. Nobody wins apart from the bots. The second option is we have to manually control the process. And let me just be clear, right? I've said a few times I don't want to do this, and I'll tell you why, right? One, I wish it was just open. It's an open market and go for it. That's ideal. But two, have you any idea the amount of work this is going to take? Manual work. So we have to send this Google form out. We have to go through all the responses. There'll be hundreds, potentially thousands, because we do have thousands of customers, but there'll be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of responses. We have to then cross-reference each submission with the person's account history on our website. That's going to take forever. Once we've determined the people that we'll be able to give something to, we have to then say, here's what we'll give you. We have to then raise a manual draft order for each person individually, send it to them, and keep track of who's purchased and who hasn't. This is a big admin task. I don't want to do this, you know, but I'll do it if it means that all our stock doesn't go into the hands of bots, you know. So that's kind of where we're at. Hopefully things change quickly, but until then, I don't have any other choice. I'm interested to know what you think about this. I mean, some of the negative reactions that we received, and there was only a few, were from people who didn't benefit, right? So they were just thinking, me, I'm not going to get anything, so this is ridiculous. But what they're not taking into account is, if we don't do something like this, nobody will get anything. The bots will get it all. So, I don't know. What do you think? Let me know.